For decades, the US dollar has ruled the world currency of trade, power, and control. But in 2025, the tide is turning. More countries are saying goodbye to the greenback, forging new alliances and a new world order. Here are 10 countries abandoning the US dollar in 2025 and what it means for the future of money. Welcome to Stories for You. Let's dive in. The dollar has been the default for global trade. If you wanted oil or to trade internationally, you used dollars. But now, major economic players are changing course. Groups like BRICS are rising, aiming to build a world less reliant on America's currency. Today, we'll look at the 10 countries leading this charge. Why are they doing it? And what does it mean for the world's most popular currency? Let's get into it. First up, Brazil, the largest economy in Latin America, and a vocal advocate for moving beyond the dollar. In 2025, Brazil is making bold moves, trading with neighbors and giants like China in their own currencies. President Lula da Silva questions why global trade must be dollar-based, pushing for direct currency exchanges. Brazil and China now conduct billions in trade using the real and yuan, strengthening ties and reducing vulnerability to US policy. This is about sovereignty and building a multipolar world. As a BRICS founder, Brazil supports the new development bank as an alternative to the IMF and World Bank. Brazil isn't just leaving the dollar, they're building the alternative. The world is watching closely as Brazil lays the foundation for a new financial system. The shift is real, and it's accelerating. Next, the United Arab Emirates, synonymous with oil and luxury, has long sold oil exclusively for US dollars. But the UAE is rewriting the rules, diversifying its economy and currency partners. In a landmark move, the UAE sold liquefied natural gas to China in yuan, a first for a key US ally. This signals a strategic pivot, maintaining US ties while recognizing China as its biggest trading partner. The UAE has joined BRICS, positioning itself as a global hub connecting Asia, Africa, and Europe. Flexibility is key. They're building the ability to trade in yuan, rupees, and euros, not just dollars. The UAE isn't abandoning the dollar overnight, but it's building off-ramps. This historic yuan-settled LNG trade marks a major shift in the global energy market. The petrodollar's grip is loosening, and the world is taking notice. The UAE's strategy is reshaping the financial landscape. Change is underway. Now to Argentina, a country with a complicated, often desperate relationship with the dollar. Decades of inflation and crisis have made the dollar a safe haven, but reliance has created a cycle of debt and austerity. Argentina's massive IMF debt, denominated in dollars, has strangled its economy. Enter China. A currency swap line now lets Argentina pay for imports, and even IMF dues, in yuan. This landmark move offers a lifeline, freeing up scarce dollar reserves. For Argentina, it's about survival and breaking free from dollar dependency. The shift won't change daily life overnight, but it's a crucial step for the government. Embracing yuan payments is pragmatic, not ideological. Argentina is forging a new path out of necessity. The world is watching this experiment closely. Russia's de-dollarization isn't a choice, it's a necessity. After the Ukraine invasion, US sanctions froze Russian assets and cut off access to the dollar system. Instead of collapse, Russia accelerated its pivot, demanding gas payments in rubles and boosting trade with China and India in yuan and rupees. The yuan is now the most traded currency on the Moscow exchange, a seismic shift. Russia's experience is a cautionary tale. If the US can weaponize the dollar, others may be next. This has fueled global interest in alternatives. Russia is now building a parallel financial system with allies, immune to Western sanctions. The yuan's share in Russia's import settlements soared from 4% to over 34% in a year. The world is taking note. Iran's de-dollarization is a marathon, not a sprint. Decades of US sanctions forced Iran to operate outside the dollar system, using barter, gold, and other currencies. Iran's entry into BRICS strengthens its position, aligning it with other major economies seeking dollar alternatives. For Iran, this is about survival and financial independence. They're pushing for a new payment system immune to US control. Iran's long history of sanctions has made it a pioneer in de-dollarization. Joining BRICS gives Iran new leverage and legitimacy. Their struggle is now part of a global movement. Ethiopia, Africa's second most populous nation, joined BRICS in 2024, signaling a shift toward new alliances. Access to BRICS's new development bank means loans in local currencies, reducing dollar risk. Ethiopia aims to boost trade with China and India, settling in local currencies or yuan. This move helps manage foreign currency shortages and supports economic stability. Ethiopia's pivot is part of a broader African trend, seeking partners who offer equal footing and fewer strings. By embracing de-dollarization, Ethiopia is making a political and economic statement. It's a bid for sovereignty and a self-determined future. Africa's financial landscape is changing. Saudi Arabia, the linchpin of the petrodollar system for 50 years, is rethinking its role. Under Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, the kingdom is diversifying its economy and alliances. Saudi officials are now open to accepting yuan for oil sales to China, a tectonic shift. The mere possibility shakes the foundation of dollar dominance. Saudi Arabia has joined BRICS, aligning with China, Russia, and India. The kingdom is balancing U.S. security ties with new economic partnerships in the East. The slow erosion of the petrodollar system is one of modern finance's biggest stories. The 50-year-old agreement faces its greatest challenge as Saudi Arabia explores oil sales in other currencies. The world is watching this transformation. The petrodollar era may be ending. Nigeria, Africa's largest economy, has long relied on the dollar for oil revenues, but it's a double-edged sword. Dollar dependency makes Nigeria vulnerable to price swings and currency shortages. The government is seeking alternatives, joining BRICS, exploring currency swaps with China, and promoting trade in naira and yuan. This is about economic stability, not ideology. Reducing dollar reliance could help control inflation and stabilize the naira. As a continental leader, Nigeria's pivot may inspire others across Africa. The march toward self-reliance is slow but steady. The dollar's grip on Africa is loosening. China isn't just leaving the dollar, it's building the alternative. Through the Belt and Road Initiative, China lends in yuan and builds trade routes centered on itself. It's striking trade deals in yuan with Russia, Brazil, the UAE and more. China's cross-border interbank payment system rivals SWIFT, and the digital yuan could bypass traditional banking entirely. The goal isn't to replace the dollar overnight, but to create a parallel system where the yuan is a major global currency. China wants to write its own financial rules and let the world choose. This patient, strategic effort is the biggest long-term threat to dollar dominance. In 2025, China's grand plan is coming together. The world is watching as the yuan rises. The future of money is being rewritten. India, the world's most populous country, is taking careful steps toward de-dollarization. India is internationalizing the rupee, allowing trade settlements in its own currency. Oil trades with the UAE and others are now settled in rupees, yuan, and dirhams. Anything but the dollar. As a BRICS member, India is a key player in non-dollar trade, especially with discounted Russian oil. India's approach is pragmatic and gradual, but its impact is significant. By promoting the rupee and engaging in non-dollar trade, India supports a multipolar financial world. India's rise ensures the future of global finance will be diverse. The rupee's internationalization is a milestone in reducing dollar dependence. 10 major countries, each with unique reasons, are moving away from the dollar. This is a real, measurable shift, driven by economics, politics, and a desire for control. The weaponization of the dollar has accelerated this trend. The US may face higher borrowing costs and less leverage, but the dollar won't collapse overnight. We're moving toward a world of competing currency blocks, a dollar block, a yuan block, and more. The world of money is becoming more complex and interesting. The dollar's dominance is cracking, and these 10 countries are leading a quiet revolution. Is this the end of dollar supremacy or the start of something new? Like, comment, and subscribe for more global